Hi, I'm with my good friend Holly Woods. I just love your name. You know that girl. And I know you're creating wealth for some companies called ERC, but what is ERC?
So ERC is through the CARES Act. So when the CARES Act came out in March in 2020, there were three ways that businesses could take advantage of the stimulus that was available. The first one was the PPP. That was the Payroll Protection Plan.
Right.
Those were short-term loans that were forgiven based on how much of that money you used for your payroll. Okay?
You got to prove it, right?
Yeah, you had to prove it.
Okay.
Like a lot of people got those. It didn't really matter if they had W-2 employees or they were sole proprietors. They could get that to pay themselves. It wasn't a problem. A lot of people didn't qualify for it, maybe because they didn't have somebody to work with to help them. A lot of companies missed out on it because maybe they just didn't have their paperwork in order. The second one was the EIDL. That was the Economic Injury Disaster Loans.
Right.
Those are long-term loans with deferred payments for 2 years, now actually 2.5 years, and a low interest rate. So
For
a lot
30
of
years,
for
right?
30 years, 30
Yeah.
years, a low interest rate for 30-year payments. So a lot of people did qualify for those as well, and there was 2 rounds of each, the PPP and the EIDL. The third one that a lot of people didn't know about was the ERC, which is the Employee Retention Credit.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay. You're all about that.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're helping businesses qualify for that through taking them through a questionnaire. Now, there's a lot of people who don't know the qualifications for that.
I was just going to ask you, what are the qualifications?
So those have changed. So the first change is that they extended it from just 2020 to also 2021,
Okay.
which is great. So if
Perfect.
you have a loss of revenue, 50% in 2020 and 20% in 2021, Q1 through Q3, then you can qualify for it automatically. But there's 2 more qualifications that make most businesses qualify. So one of those is the supply chain. So if you were affected by supply chain in any way. So a lot of construction companies, they were affected. Even doctors' offices were affected. They couldn't get some medication. Maybe they're coming from Canada or somewhere else that they weren't able to get that.
Right.
And then the third way was if you were impacted by any state, local, or federal shutdowns. So I have an attorney's office that I qualified, and they made more money in 2020 and in 2021, but they were impacted because they had to learn how to do depositions online.
Okay.
The courts were shut down, so everything
Right.
was taking a lot longer. Insurance companies that they worked with, they weren't able to get someone on the phone. People weren't able to look up cases and stuff like that. So you really can think outside of the box on some of the ways that your businesses were impacted. Like think about
And
restaurants.
that lost money due to COVID, right?
Right. I mean, think about restaurants. They had to go from being in dining restaurants to all takeout,
Right.
right? So some of them did better. Some of them made more money with takeout.
Some lost
Some
everything.
lost everything because they
Yes.
couldn't adjust,
Couldn't
or
make
maybe
it.
they didn't want to adjust too. But the other thing about it, which are a couple things that people don't really know, is number one, since the rules have changed, a lot of CPAs and bookkeepers, they just haven't been up on it because they don't necessarily look at your business quarter by quarter like we do for ERC.
Okay.
And the other thing is that businesses that closed down or maybe were sold during that time, you may still qualify as well.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
So the best thing to do is to get in touch
And how many
with
about
us.
employees?
Oh, that's good. That's a good point. So if you're a sole proprietor, you do have to have W-2 employees that are not related to you. So if you own 50% or more of your business, it has to be W-2 employees that aren't related to you.
And under 500?
Under 500 employees. Yeah, 500 employees, small businesses. So this is all for small businesses.
Perfect.
And the other thing I just want to say is we have a lot of people that are out there that may have been told they don't qualify. At least give us a chance to do the questionnaire for you, and let's see if maybe the rules changed in your favor.
So this is a grant. They don't have to pay it back.
Well, it's not necessarily a grant. What it is it's a tax credit. And so they look at your payroll taxes, your employee tax credit from 2020 and 2021, and that's how it's determined. You have to refile some paperwork, like the federal paperwork for the 941, 942, 943s. Those get refiled, and so it's actually a credit that comes back from your taxes.
So it's money that most people don't even know that's available.
Exactly.
Really?
I mean, really what happened was that's why the rules changed and the qualifications changed, is because they looked at it and only about 10% of businesses had taken advantage of it. So we're here to help you see if you qualify. Some businesses that have 10 to 15 employees, like that attorney company that I was talking about, they had 10 employees. They qualify for just over $200,000.
Hello.
Right?
Right. And so do you walk people step by step through the process?
Sure do. We walk them through this questionnaire. It has all of the questions that they need to answer. And then we work with a company that makes sure that they have all your paperwork in order.
Okay.
So your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed. And then when they submit the package, then the IRS takes a look at that. Now, it isn't a fast process because, when the IRS wants money, they get it quickly. But when they're ready to give it, it's a little slower sometimes, right? So this is really about making sure that you have the right paperwork in order so it doesn't get kicked back and that you know that you qualify for it.
So when they contact you, you help them through this whole process?
We help them through the questionnaire, and then we partner with a company called ERC Specialists, and they make sure that all the paperwork is in order for them.
Fabulous. Now, how do we find you to get all this
Well,
great money?
Yeah, you can click on
If you qualify.
Yeah, you can click on the QR code. You can also follow the website below, and the number below will help you as well.
Okay, Holly, what if you're someone like me that is a sole proprietor without W-2 employees? However, I know a lot of businesses that have them. How can that work?
Well, we do have a program where you can become an affiliate, and it's a non-licensed affiliate, so you don't have to worry about getting your insurance license or anything like that.
Good.
Right?
Busy.
Right? You're busy, so you can refer people, and they can go through the questionnaire. You'll get your own link, and you can make a little bit of commissions on that as well.
Perfect. And I just ask you for that, then you give me a link?
Absolutely.
Awesome. There you go. Cha-ching. That's amazing information. All right, you heard it right there from my friend Holly Woods. I'm Lauren M. Powers, and thank you. Go to the links. Boom. Boom. I couldn't have said it better.